Welcome to the Lesbians of Leisure podcast, where we work and play the leisure way. Join us as we explore balancing life, business, and leisure.
All right, guys, we are back for another episode of Lesbians of Leisure. I am Letitia. This is
Charmin.
And we are Lesbians of Leisure. So, we were discussing, we're actually off script right now. We had a whole script of how we were going to lay out the next, few episodes. But then we thought it would be great if we took it back, way back to when we first met, which was August 17th, 2000. That was not it.
It was August 10th, 2017.
Okay, I had the 17 right. Usually it's you that.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway. So we decided we would take you guys back with us on a journey for the whole month of May. Because in order for you all to understand how we got to this leisure lifestyle, it's important to know where it all started. So how did it all start?
Well, for me, it all started I was going to Atlanta. And I had really given up on dating apps, but my mind said there are some beautiful, as I was driving, there are some beautiful women in Atlanta, and let me just put the app back on and see what happens. And
hold on, you gotta tell them what app it was.
Okay, it was Tinder, right? And me, I am so green to this whole dating that I don't know the different meanings culturally or about the different apps. I just thought that it was a dating app.
And it was for us.
It was. And so I put it on and I saw something that I like and I swiped right.
Okay, so that's how she ended up on Tinder. I ended up on Tinder. First of all, I was fresh off a divorce. Hold on, let me just say this. My divorce actually was not even final, okay? But I was separated, living in a different home, and just waiting on the final proceedings to come in the mail. So anyway, I didn't know how to date.
And neither did I.
Yeah, I mean, after being married for 20 years and not even being dated in my marriage, that's food for thought. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. But I didn't know how to date, and my girlfriend came over to the house one day and she said, "Bitch, you need Tinder." And I was like, "What's that?" She told me what it was. I put it on my phone. I did go on a couple of dates, here and there, but nothing was promising until I was on my way back from Dominican celebrating my 40th birthday. So y'all know I was 40 and flirty, okay? So I came back from DR and I was sick. So sick that I couldn't drive home. So I ended up staying at my cousin's house that lived close to the airport in Atlanta. And while I was there on my sick bed, I was scrolling and swiping. And I never forget on August 10th when I swiped right on Charmin, y'all, because I was like, "Hey, I want to meet you today. Let's have lunch." And what you say?
I'm not here for that. Like, even though I put it on, I put the app back on my phone and I said what I said, I was like, man, like, this chick is moving kind of fast. Like, because I was...
Okay, so press pause. So she was doing all of that, okay, through the texting, like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm not here for that, blah, blah, blah," whatever. So I was persistent and I said, "Hey, can you meet me at 1?" So she said yes. I got up off the sick bed, took me a shower, got dressed, and I told my cousin, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go out for a minute, I'll be back." And she looked at me and said, "Well, you ain't too damn sick, you about to run the streets."
Yeah, and I had just came back from a change of command. The friend that I was visiting was taking command of the recruiting command there, and we were all together hanging out, whatever. And I'm like, man, I gotta go down here to I got to go down here to Bahama Breeze. And so anywho, I believe I pulled up after
You did. I got there
after
first.
tea, and I was like, oh, okay, nice. So y'all, let me just say this. Full transparency. I had some expectations in my dating, and I've had several women say that I was conceited. So let me just put it out there is that I needed thongs, lipstick, dresses, heels. So that's what I was attracted to. That's what I like. And so a lot of, like I say, women said, oh, you're conceited. And there were a couple of other things too. Like, as Bruno Mars say, pay your own rent and things of that nature. And so when I pulled up and I saw, like, her car tint windows were like dark.
Do you remember texting me?
I couldn't even see in the window. I'm like, wait a minute.
So she was pulling up and she was getting out the car. Maybe she texted me from the car and she said, are those windows dark enough? You remember that?
like couldn't even see. And like later, of course, I knew the car name to be Casper, but when she got out, she had on jeans, and there's a whole story behind these jeans. But and she was, slender, and
way slenderer than I am now.
And but the one thing that I did notice that was like, what you talking about, Willis? Is that she had her birthday hair in, y'all. And I saw on
Hold on,
Tinder,
let me talk about this hair first.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
As I mentioned before, it was my 40th birthday. So, you do some different shit when you turn 40, And I had never had a weave, ever, in life, okay? And so, my little hair's sticking up here. So what I did is I asked my homegirl, who was an amazing beautician. I said, I think I want to get a sew-in for my birthday. So she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, girl. So she put this sew-in in my hair. I had this long, curly hair, wavy hair. And my Tinder pictures did not have a weave. It was my natural hair at the time. It was cut short. It was kind of very edgy. And that's what she swiped on. But when I get out the car,
she had the weave.
You ain't like the weave.
And I was like, okay, well, I know it wasn't permanent. So
we just talking at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we go in, and I'm the type, like, once I knew it was her birthday, of course, lunch was on me. And my wife is very particular about what she lays on the palette of her lips and tongue and things of that nature, right? Yeah. So like I'm not gonna say picky, but y'all get it, right? And so we order something with shrimp, I think shrimp enchiladas.
No.
What we order? No. Well, anyway, she
hold
remembers.
on. I want to talk about when I saw you get out the car. You talked about when you saw me get out the car.
Okay. All right.
So first of all, y'all, I have this was sort of different for me, and I'm gonna be honest. All right, and I've shared this with my wife, so this is not the first time she's hearing this. What was I on Tinder for?
She's just there for hookups.
I was there for a good time. I ain't gonna say hookups.
What's the difference?
I was there for a good time.
Okay, how do you define a good time?
And when I got on, I'm gonna tell you, I was there for a good time. Go on a few dates. Whatever. And so when she got out the car, first of all, I sat in the car. Remember, my windows were like jet black, windshield tinted all the way, like everything was blacked out. So she couldn't see that I was looking at her. Okay, so she gets out the car and I was like, damn. Because it was snatched waist, nice hips. and the derriere was derriering. Okay,
The ass was ass.
okay. She was looking thicker than a snicker, and it was, very nice on the eyes. Okay, beautiful hair. She has, naturally curly hair, and she was beautiful. All right, and my first thought was, wow. Her pictures on Tinder did her no justice. And I told you that. She looked
you did.
way more beautiful. Like, I'm like, snatch all them shits off of Tinder.
Well,
Because, that's what we did shortly after. But my point is, she was more beautiful in person than on Tinder. And most of the time, you get the opposite. You get, edited pictures, photoshopped, and then you see somebody and they bugaboo. This was not the case with her.
or you see somebody on Tinder and they're not presenting what you see, in that they potentially, for me, because I like thongs, lipstick, dresses, and heels, they will say, oh, I'm going to send you a picture. I'm going to send you a picture so you can recognize me at the restaurant or wherever we're meeting. I'm like, what's wrong with your picture on whatever app?
Yeah.
And so when I get the picture, I'm like, well, let me just be very transparent with you that what I see now is not what I'm attracted to. We can still meet up.
You remember that happened to me?
yeah, I do. But we can still meet up, but know that it's not going to be anything other than friendship. And so most of the time, they get like, I need to be very transparent, right? And so anyway,
okay, lunch. What we had for lunch?
Yeah, you go back to that. Like, 'cause
Okay,
I don't remember.
We ordered the sampler.
Oh,
it was the appetizer sampler that had all the different things, quesadillas, and the sampler.
Yeah.
And then I had a vodka tonic, and you had something fruity.
Something fruity.
Yeah. And we sat there and we had lunch and we talked and we talked.
And we talked.
And it was just, the conversation
felt good,
flowed, and it felt natural.
Yeah.
And we must have sat there for, I don't know,
a couple hours.
Yeah, 2-3 hours talking.
Yeah.
And then we left, and we were still talking.
And we still talk. Like, thank goodness for texting.
Yeah.
And,
I tell people all the time that I feel like we're still on a date from August 10th.
Yeah.
And Bahama Breeze, shout out to Bahama Breeze, because that's still our joint. We try to make it there every year on August 10th, because it's just a feel-good place to us. So for those of y'all who talk about, oh, don't take me to Cheesecake Factory for the first date, don't take me here, we were at Bahama Breeze.
Oh, because it's just so much.
And we still love it.
Yeah, I mean,
like, to this day, we even go to Bahama Breeze to celebrate other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spot.
It's just our place. But anyway, so here's what happened after August 10th. Okay. And I'm doing most of the talking because I'm the one with the memories.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I have memories too.
Okay.
So, I mean, for me, I go back, and of course, all the ladies that I was hanging out with wanted to know about you.
They did.
And then you were like, and they wanted me to invite you to, because we went to dinner, right? We were going to dinner.
I told y'all last episode, my wife has severe sinus and allergy problems, so.
Oh, disclaimer, right?
Yeah, disclaimer.
And I even have these hives in my eyes, which hopefully y'all can't see them. But anyway, so I go back and they want to know about my interaction with her. And I don't know if I was really reluctant to share because I had not bought anybody that I was pursuing around them. And I don't know why I didn't bring anyone around them, but I just didn't. And so they were like, oh, you should invite her to dinner. I'm like, no.
But guess who was at dinner?
No. This was
the next day.
It was like the next day we were hanging out, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, because I think we were still talking. We were still texting, and I was like, all right, we're gonna be at this spot tomorrow, and can you come by? And
Now, I will say I don't remember that spot. It's in Atlanta.
It's a
Nope. We went to a place before we went to the gay bar. Because remember, I showed up after I took my.
No, that was we went to two places. We went to two places. Well, we only went to one.
Okay,
So see, again, her memory ain't as good as she says it is. But anyway, we were at a queer friendly bar because
and
I remember
that's the first gay bar I've ever been to.
Yeah, because I remember the rainbow on the crosswalk, and she was hanging out with her cousins, celebrating one of her cousins' birthdays. And I remember you sent me a picture of y'all, and I was like, "Oh, y'all are cute, right?" And here's the thing, y'all. My wife. We are of the rainbow family, but my wife's family is of the multicultural family, and there are all different shades of beautiful, loving people in her family, and it displayed in that picture. Because her cousin is lighter and skin than me, look a little, I don't know, but anyway, she's beautiful, and so we hung out. And let me say this, y'all, I'm usually the one who is very generous, but T came in and was like, "Drinks on me." I'm like, wow, right? And it just kept going. I don't even know what her bill was.
I don't know either.
But
it was a lot. I do know that. It was in the hundreds of dollars.
And I'm like, I never had that. I had never been on a date where I wasn't the one that was doing that. Like, I never had a date where it was collaborative with everybody else. But, and I do recall a moment where I almost got molested in the bathroom, y'all.
Oh my gosh!
like,
first of all, we have not talked about that in a long time. It wasn't an almost either.
So I'm like, Lord Jesus.
If my kids are listening, just
I was like,
pretend you didn't hear that part.
I was like, oh wow, wait a minute, hold on, sis.
Remember, somebody was trying to get in the bathroom.
It's crowded up in it. Like, you can't. And I was like,
Okay, so just for y'all who may have gotten lost in this story, this is day two. So the first day at Bahama Breeze was Thursday. This was Friday night. Okay, and yeah, so I was definitely in a space. Okay. But
frisky, just frisky.
Here's the thing. Because I was coming back from vacation, all I had in my bags were vacation clothes, like short shorts. Like, it was nothing to be going on a date in. And I had to buy an outfit to meet you that night with your friends, because I didn't have any clothes, okay?
That were clean. She had clothes. She just ain't have any clothes.
Well, yeah, I was just coming back from vacation.
Right.
And then... so that was the second night. Now the third night.
No. That we were still into that night. So after we left that particular spot, we were going to Magic City because one of the chicas that I was with had never wanted to experience the strip club Magic City.
That's right. That was.
And we were Ubering. Oh, by the way. But we didn't have to Uber because T offered to drive us to our next location. And so, again, we get into Magic City, needed to go to the ATM to get cash. And she was like, here's money for you. I'm like, wait a minute. Here we go again. This feels different, but good. And then the whole time, she just danced behind me as I enjoyed myself.
And I'm going to tell y'all, the song that was like the most popular song that summer was Rihanna, Wild Thoughts. And every time I hear that song, to this day, I think about our time at Magic City because, like, I remember that song coming on and I was kind of dancing behind Charmin and she was rubbing that booty, that big old booty on me. And it felt like we were already a couple.
Yeah. And
It felt like we were out, like, just on a date. And when really I had just known her for 2 days.
yeah, it just felt good. It didn't. And then after Magic City, which was late, she drives us back across town to my friend's house, and there was like an Waffle House on the on the corner. So some folks wanted to get something to eat because it was around about that time, and I was like, well, you could just spend the night.
Yes, I spent the night.
I was like, and we all had our locations of and whatnot, and it was innocent, very innocent.
Even though I tried to molest her like a couple of hours earlier that night, but the actual spend the night was really
very
innocent.
I mean, it was very innocent, and yeah, I don't know how I laid next to you. I don't think I laid up on you. I probably try to like scoot over to the side.
You may have grazed me a time or two.
But so anyway, I was like, this is the first that I've had someone that was attracted to me that didn't, and I laid next to that didn't try anything. Cause yeah.
So the next morning I had breakfast and she walked me out and I was leaving because I had to get back home because one of my good friends was also celebrating her birthday and was having a birthday party that Saturday night. And I never forget, Charmin walked me to the car and it almost felt like a goodbye, almost. We got a little quiet. I think I didn't want to leave, and I don't know. I want to say that she didn't want me to leave either. But we had to go our separate ways at that moment. And the whole way to Alabama, we were on the phone.
And my whole drive, 9 freaking hours.
Hold on, you skipped a little part.
Okay.
So the whole way back to Alabama, we were on the phone. I went to my girlfriend's birthday party that night. I left the party at probably I got home about 5 in the morning. Charmin was leaving Atlanta at 5 in the morning to drive back to Virginia. And we talked how many hours?
It was like 9 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah.
Without a pause. Y'all, this is how we were able to become so close in a short period of time because it was nonstop communication. It was almost like a magnet. Like we just had to talk to each other, and we felt good and comfortable talking to each other then as we do now.
Yeah. I remember waking up and saying, good morning, beautiful, until I started calling you babe. And then that was like, oh, I want to see if she's up. Because I think I got up around 5 o'clock. And then again, it was like an hour difference. And then, y'all, I would FaceTime her, or I think I didn't have an iPhone at the time. I had a Samsung. I had a Samsung, so I was WhatsApping you. I think we were doing WhatsApp.
No, babe. We were just texting on the regular phone.
No, what I'm saying is I set my phone up so you could see me get dressed and take a shower and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Every morning, I watched her, like, I don't want to say watched her because that sounds a little.
She would
prop her phone up and she would shower, and we would literally be talking in the morning while she's showering, walking around the house, to the point of the first time I visited her home, I felt like I'd been there already because I had been in every room with her.
Yeah.
This may be a good place to hold off on before we tell you my first trip to Virginia and how she did the girlfriend proposal and all that. So I think this is a good stopping point until our next episode, and then we'll give you all the deets on how we became a couple.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you gotta click like, subscribe, share this video. Y'all make sure y'all come back to catch the rest of the story, because we're bringing you our life, almost of 7 years together. We're going to give it all to you in the next 30 days. And then we're going to get into this leisure life and how we became the lesbians of leisure.
Yeah, because we love to work and
And
play
play
the leisure way.